host, Red. I got a video today from Philosophy Boss. He did a really good video on Law of Attraction by Miyazaki. And I think a lot of men need to learn this and understand how Law of Attraction works. And, it's not about chasing, it's about attracting what you want, right? Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
The best way to get what you want is by deserving it. Welcome everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day. And today I want to continue with our series on Dokudo by Miyamoto Musashi. And I want to talk about the rule that we covered before in another video called Humility is Strength. Consider yourself lightly, consider the world deeply. In the other video, we focused on the first part, consider yourself lightly, which deals with humility. But today, I want to focus on the first part, consider the world deeply, and a practical way of applying it to the real world and connecting it to the law of attraction. And I know that the law of attraction is very well known.
Yeah, I watched The Secret when I was younger, and just learned how law of attraction works and what you do to it, and I thought it was amazing. I felt like the law of attraction and how religions and prayers work are very similar. I feel like religion builds law of attraction into the religion itself. That's how I feel like religious people are able to do so much better. They're able to attract the things that they want because it's ingrained into that religion already.
But I find that most videos and books cover it on a surface level and don't really apply it to the real world. And most only talk about the mindset and everything. I mean, I get it, it is important, but guys, to be honest, your mindset doesn't matter. Not until you put in the work and the reps. You can read as many books as you want, watch as many YouTube videos as you want about fitness, but if you don't take action by going to the gym and eating healthy, nothing will change about your physique. And this applies to everything, guys. What I'm about to tell you here is very powerful, but only if you put in the work. But if you do so, it pays off big time.
It does.
Whether it's work, career, or relationships. And you get what you want by not focusing on what you want. Or, as Musashi said, by considering the world deeply. And by doing so, you differentiate yourself from the 90% of people immediately. Because the other 90% are selfish, only thinking about what they want, without considering what the world needs. But guys, the world does not care about what you want. It only cares about what you have to offer. Business partners care about how you can make the money. Potential life partners care about whether you can make their lives better. They do not care about how hard you work, whether you're a nice guy, and especially...
This is why we work on ourselves. We build the best that we can and then we attract women, we attract whatever we want in our lives. But it starts with building ourselves and working on ourselves, acquiring skills, acquiring knowledge, putting those skills and knowledge to work to produce something or to be of service some way.
Not your selfish needs and wants, because the thing is, they care about their selfish needs and wants. At the moment you become the person who gives them access to this, you become valuable. And
that is... Everybody has problems. Everybody needs solutions in some way, form, or another. It could be money. It could be just telling them something. It could be helping them with something. It could be doing something. It could be partnering with them. It could be anything. As long as it can solve the issue that they have at hand, you are a friend and you are very valuable. Nobody cares about unsolicited advice. Nobody cares about unsolicited things or just, whatever it is. People telling you whatever because you don't need it. It is not a want or a requirement for you to solve that problem. So when people give you an answer to it, it just gets brushed off. So finding a need or a want, especially if you want to meet someone or you want to show someone you have skills, especially like a millionaire or someone that's well off, figure out what they need. Figure out what that person requires in their business, requires in their life, or requires for them to be a little bit happier or to make their business successful. Once you can figure that out, you can solve their problem. And once that happens, you are a friend and an ally that they will go to solve these types of problems.
And you, my friend, become the prize. And you stop chasing and start attracting the right opportunities and people into your life. And if you consistently put this into practice, you'll be so surprised how far you get ahead of your competition. But here's the thing. For this to work, you first have to stop being selfish.
This is where I bring it up. A life of service, a life of servitude, right? Men in particular are put here on this earth to the betterment of society. Whichever way we are able to do that is what our worth is, right? If we are able to produce a technology that wasn't there before, if we were able to combine some resources that wasn't able to be combined before, or make a new product, or we create a new service that was not around before that makes people's lives easier, you become valuable in society. Not just because you live in it and breathe, you are entitled to what society has to offer you.
And start to think deeply about the world. And two conditions must be met for this to work. First of all, actually become valuable to what it is that you want to attract. And secondly, be perceived as valuable. Let's talk business. Let's say you're a student at university and you want to land your first job at a prestigious firm. This is what most would do. They would send hundreds of applications, and as a result, they may get some interview invitations. They may do some quick interview prep and prepare answers to common questions. And they often go in the interview viewing the company as the prize, and that they would be so fortunate if they get the job. And with this attitude, they go into the interview saying something like, "Thank you so much for giving me the chance to prove myself, and I promise, if I get the job, I will not let you down."
Yep.
And let's be honest, guys, what does this sound like? This guy is chasing, not attracting. Let me show you a smarter way of handling this. Let's say there's another guy, and he goes about it differently. He researches the problems the industry is facing right now, and the impact on the firms that he is applying to. And he thinks about solutions to those problems, and about how he would use his skills to implement this solution, and the potential impact of these solutions on the firms. And he now does the following. Rather than sending hundreds of applications, he attends a career fair, of which he knows that many of the firms that he is interested in are attending. And what he does is having genuine conversations with company executives of the firms that he is interested in. And rather than asking, well, can I get a job? Or diving straight into the problems and solutions that he identified, he's rather asking something like this. In your opinion, which are the biggest challenges you think the industry and your firm are currently facing? And the executive names some of the problems. And the guy says, interesting. I think one way to handle the problems you just mentioned would be this. And he casually talks about the solutions that he researched before. And assuming that the guy did his homework properly, the executive is getting interested. And the more they discuss about the problems and solutions, the more the executive realizes that this guy knows his stuff. And that he will be a great asset for a company. And 10-15 minutes into the conversation, the executive says, look, we are recruiting for some graduate level positions right now. And I think you could be a good fit. Why don't you send us your CV and we arrange an interview for you? And rather than saying, of course, I'm sending my CV straight away and I would be so honored to be interviewed by you, he says something like, sure, why not? I'm sending my CV over sometime this week. And yeah, let's find out whether we are a good match. 2 weeks later, he's been invited to the interview, meeting some other executives. And one of them asked him, why did you apply and why do you want to work for our company? And he said, I applied because Mr. So-and-so from your company asked me to do so. And he said that I could be a good fit. And this is also why I'm here today. I want to find out whether your firm is also a good match for me and whether I want to join the team. And this, guys, changes the entire game. He made the firm come to him. And he made himself the prize. He's now asking the firm, well, what do you have to offer? Leaving him in a strong negotiation position.
I have a good story for this one from a music artist that a lot of music artists don't seem to realize what it takes to become successful. And it's not the work of making good music. It really isn't. It's what he says is communicating and getting to know the people that run the industry, that have the power in the industry. The people that most of the time get all the opportunities are the people that surround those particular people and solve problems for them. It's not some person that gives their mixtape out or sends their mixtape to, Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's listening to it and it's like, oh shit, this is the best. No, people will go up to Jay-Z, look for all of his problems and do what he needs to do, and then fix it for Jay-Z and be like, look, Jay-Z, I did this, I took care of it, and they just keep doing that. And then sooner or later, someone like Jay-Z will be like, you know what, man? This guy always takes care of my problems. He's always there. He's been there forever. I'm gonna give them a chance. I know he's been doing music too, so maybe I'll give him a chance, and they will listen to it. And it's a different type of listen than if I was just sending out mixtapes, right? Because you have the clout behind the music. They don't care about the music being good or not. They really don't. They only care about the person behind the music. This is very similar to how this story works. I have other examples, but I think this is very important for us to understand. When you focus on something, make sure you're focusing on the grand picture of things, right? To be a music artist, yes, you have to make somewhat good music, but you hear shitty music all the time that still gets produced. Why does that happen? Because the people that surrounded these producers or these major players solved problems for them and made themselves valuable to these people, and these people wanted to show value back. And this is how society is ran. This is how men curry favors with each other. This is how families and businesses curry favors for each other.
Making the firm chase him. But in order to be in a position to do this, you actually must first become valuable, and secondly, be perceived as valuable. And if you think that you're not valuable, you have to work on this. And if you think, well, I am valuable, but I'm not perceived as valuable, you have to work on this. And the moment you become this, so many opportunities come to you. And you start to attract and not chase. And this was only one example. And this works in many fields,
yes,
no matter
does.
whether business or relationships. And if you do this on a consistent basis in every field, you get so much ahead of your competition. And really use these principles and apply it to your field. What do you think about this? Do you agree? Or do you think it's total BS?
Amazing Chow. I loved how he presented the data. I loved how his example was awesome. Like, I have a few examples myself of this. Personal examples, but the music one was just one I read about, and it was amazing that it's not what you know, it's who you know. Remember, it's always been about who you know, because it's not how you can solve problems, it's who you can solve problems for that can further you somewhere else. And in this aspect of our dating lives and how modern women are, we become the men that they're looking for. We become that strong provider. We become that masculine man. We become stoic. We become non-yielding in our morals. These are the things that attract women to us, right? And these are the things you work on. And you don't work on attracting women. You work on yourself, and you work on the things that you know that will lead towards that. But that is not your end goal, right? So please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.